Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Today's beautiful Hukamnama is by Bhagat Kabeer Ji in Rang Asa on Ang 479 in Asa. Bhagat Kabeer Ji shares with us something so beautiful. You may not have heard this Hukamnama and the explanations, but let us come and understand it together because it is something so meaningful, and I'm very sure that it will touch our hearts and we will realize, wow, Bhagat Kabeer Ji ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆਪ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮਨਾਮੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਗਤ ਕਬੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਾਹੂ ਦੀਨੇ ਪਾਟ ਪਟੰਬਰ ਕਾਹੂ ਪਲਗ ਨਿਵਾਰਾ. Now ਪਟੰਬਰ means ਪੱਟ ਦੇ ਅੰਬਰ, ਪੱਟ ਦੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ. ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਕਈ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ God has made many people ਰੇਸ਼ਮ ਦੇ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਪਾਉਣ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਨਿਵਾਰੀ ਪੰਗਲ ਪਲੰਗ ਤੇ ਸੌਣ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਹੈ. Lots of people have got so much of wealth, so much of abundance. They have been given silks and satins to wear upon their bodies, and they sleep in beds that are decorated with cotton ribbons. What a beautiful scenario, which means God says there are some people who are so wealthy, so prosperous, so rich that they dress in the best of the best clothes and they sleep in the most beautiful beds of all time. Kaya nu swami ne pat te resham de kapde dite han te kaya nu nawar nal une ਹੋਏ ਪਲੰਗ ਵੀ ਬਖਸ਼ੇ ਹਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ. ਇਨ ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼ ਹਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਸੌਰੀ ਚੈਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਆਈ ਹੈ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਸਮਝਾ ਦਿਓ. ਸੰਗਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਬ੍ਰਾਜ਼ੀਲ ਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਪੈਨਿਸ਼ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਤੋਂ ਜੁੜਦੀ ਹੈ. Algunos son bendecidos con sedas, otros con celes en sus camas. And Guruji says पूर्व हिंदी ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਮਝ ਲਈਏ, पूर्व किसी ने बस्तर और पटंबर रेशमी बस्तर निवार के बुने पलंग दिए हैं. वाहिगुरु जी ने दिते ने ना सब कुछ. सो तिसका फल अब परमेश्वर ने उनको वही पदार्थ दिए हैं, सो सुख भोगते हैं. That's why people have a beautiful comfortable life, living in beautiful homes and having all kinds of worldly possessions, wearing the most beautiful clothes, and at the same time sleeping in all kinds of comfortable beds. And Bhagat Ji says, Kahu gari godri nahi, kahu khan parara. Now, gari godri, if you look at kahu gari godri nahi, can you see the word gari godri nahi? Nahi means, of course, you don't have it. And gari godri is gali hoi godri. जुली होई होंदी है जिवें. परारा simply means parali, and khan means घरां दे विच. पर कई विचारियां नु, Guruji says, on the other hand, the first line was talking about the very rich, the abundant, the prosperous people. But on the other hand, there are also poor people who suffer in poverty. Nu gali hoi जुली भी नहीं मिलदी ते कई घरां विच बिस्तरे दे थां पराली ही है. You know, Guruji says, if you look at the homes of poor people, they don't even have a poor patched coat, an old coat that maybe now is already having a lot of holes and it's being sewn upon again and again, and they don't even have such kind of clothes to put upon their body, and they live in thatched huts. Guruji says they are so poor. Mientras que otros no tienen ni siquiera un abrigo andrajoso o un tecno de cartón bajo el cual estar. And that's why Guruji कहते हैं किसी पुरुष को गली हुई गोदरी भी नहीं मिलती, किसी के परारा आटे की छीन का छान सुड़ी वापरा आश्रय खाने को मिलता है. वह किसी के घर में सोने के परारा तानों का पराल भाव कख फूस का बिस्तरा सोने वास्ते है पाव. यह कि उनके पूर्व जन्म में किसी को दान नहीं दिया है. Now, of course, Bhagat Ji goes deeper in explaining these lines, and he says the people who don't have anything in this lifetime, it could be because in the previous lives and in the lives before this life, or in the days before today. So some of us who don't believe, or some of you who don't believe that a person can be born and die again in the cycle of reincarnation, it is okay. Even in this life itself, if before this day you did not help other people, you did not give in donation, you didn't help the poor people, then a day will come in your life when you will also not have anything. And And Bhagat says that's why some people have a lot of the great things in their life because they have been very charitable, but there are others who have poverty in their life because they've never given, never done even a giving of something called the swan, 10% of their wealth, so that we can carry on these kind of good programs and share the message of Gurbani with the rest of the world. So कई कोल गली सड़ी गोदरी भी नहीं होंदी अते कईयां कोल कखां दी कुल्ली है. It's just a very broken down, thatched hut, Guruji says, and their clothes are all torn all over the place. They are so poor. And it could be Bhagaji suggesting maybe because they forgot to help other people and give in donation, and even did not give that minimum 10% of whatever they earned back to you can say good noble deeds, so that they would have good blessings in the future. And that's why Agli Tukde, which Guruji teaches us something so important. Ehrakvadu na ki jai Reman. Oh my mind. Reman simply means oh my mind. Hey mere mana. Ehrak da matlab hunda hai hirk, ईर्खा गिला वाद मतलब झगड़ा. Do not have any quarrels, don't fight, and don't be jealous of what others have and what you don't have. Hey मेरे मना ईर्खा ते झगड़ा क्यों करता है? Why do you indulge in envy? Why do you indulge in bickering? And oh my mind, why do you have all this quarrels with everybody, and why are you so envious of what people have? रे मन अहरक वाद ईर्खा अरवाद झगड़ा ना करिए. Let us never ever indulge in envy and bickering. O mente no te metas en la envidia o en la rina ईर्खा अते बेखड़ा ना कर हे मेरी जिंदड़िए. क्यों? क्योंकि सुकृत कर लीजिए रेमन रहाओ. Now whenever you see the word rahao means, let us pause there, let us have a little bit of a thought about what Guruji just said in these last few lines, because it is an important rahao means to pause, to stop there and think about it and let it digest the keynote message. Sukrit kar lijye Reman. Sukrit means nek kamai. Make sure you earn an honest living and you do good things in your life, you do good deeds in your life, you give and you pray for sarbat da pala. That's why we promote the future of money, seva, cryptocurrency assets, because it is focusing on sarbat da pala, the common prosperity of everybody, the good of all mankind, sarbat da pala. And that's why we always say everybody will have everything that we want, prosper together with the future of money, seva, cryptocurrency assets. If we all learn about it, invest, promote, sell, and then learn to prosper together. क्योंकि नेक कमाई करी जात ते तू भी इस सुख हासिल कर लेगा. So if you want to have those satin clothes, those silken clothes, and you want to have the most comfortable homes and the beds to sleep in and have a good rest, Guru says, my Guruji teaches us that by continually doing good deeds, you shall obtain these gifts. Oh my mind, who doesn't want to have it? Am I right? Everybody wants to have it. And Guruji says, Shubh Karam. Look at the word, Nek Kamai. You can see that on the screen, or Shubh Karam. लगातार कमाउण दे द्वारा, continuously earning and doing good deeds, ए प्राप्त हुंदे हन. हे मेरे मनुए ठहराओ. ठहराओ simply means take a pause. In Spanish you call it a pausa. Am I right? Solo has buenas acciones. हे मेरे मना, जो बस्त लेनी है ना, सो सुकृत पुण्य करके ले. पाव ये के जिसने पाई है पुण्य करके पाई है रहाओ. Those people who have obtained all the luxuries of the world, all the riches, all the wealth, all the prosperity, all the good things in their life, to have good food, good clothes, roti, kapda or makan. Traditionally every Hindi movie talks about roti, kapda or makan, the best of the clothes, silken satin clothes, to the best dishes and foods that have been put in front of you to eat, and to have the best homes to live in. Kumara ek jo mati gundi bobid bani lai. Bobid here simply means कई किस्मां दी बानी रंगत वनी लाई है. गुरु जी कहते ने एक मियार ने इको ही मिट्टी गुन्नी ते उस नू कई किस्म दे रंग ला दिते. भाव कई वनगियां दे भांडे बना दिते. You know, if you look at how a potter works, he works with the same clay. He makes the same clay and he basically then colors the pots and bakes them into different shapes, different colors. And then, you know, you go to the marketplace, you have got different kinds of pots of different colors, different shapes and different designs to choose from. इसी तरह कुम्हार उस ਦੀ ਮਿੱਟੀ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੰਨਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਭਾਂਡਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਨੇਕਾਂ ਤਰੀਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰੰਗਦਾ ਹੈ. He bakes all those pots and pans in the same clay, made of the same clay, in the same oven, in the same fire. But once they have taken shape, then he will color and paint over them. El alfarero aplica numerosos colores al barro ki confecciona. The potter works with the same clay and colors the pots in many different ways. गुरु जी कहते ने ब्रह्मा कुमार ने पंच तत्वों रूप माटी गूंदी है. Now of course in Hindu tradition, because I also am translating for our Hindu brothers and sisters and friends who have joined us, and that's why we speak in Hindi, but the translations that we share with them in Hindi of course talks about Brahma Ji, because they believe there are three gods, one God the creator, one the sustainer, and one the destroyer. And the creator basically has created. Brahma Kumar Ji ne panch tatton roop mati gundi hai, pav tatton ke milaya hai. He mixed together the five elements of the world. Now in many other lectures you would have heard, and we went into deeper analysis on what the five elements of the world are. And if you try to create a sixth element, there cannot be any sixth element, because whatever God has created, given to Brahma Ji, if you believe in Hindi mythology, then of course those are the same five elements that create everything. Usne sab prakar ke sariro roop pande banaye han. He has created so many body shapes. Now this is not about I am very fat and you are very thin, I'm very tall and you are very short, or I am very athletic and you, oh my God, didn't exercise for the last 300 years. It is not about the body shaming of anybody. Everybody has a beautiful body that's a gift from God. So start to love your body, because it's a vehicle. Hari Mandar, a sarir hai, this body that has been given. But Guruji in this Shabad is trying to tell you, it's not about making fun of somebody's good looks or not so good looks, but usne sab prakar ke sariron roop pande banaye han. El arfarero aplica numerosos colores al barro ki confecciona. बहुत तरह दे रूप बनाए हैं अते अर कर्मो रूप वन्नी लगाई है. And then he has put in the color based on the kind of karm that we did, the deeds that we did in the past lives. So those people who are disabled, some people say, why did God create them so? Because maybe in their last lives they also disabled, or they tortured certain beings. Could have been other human beings, could have been other animals, and could have been, like you see little children and they cut off the tail of a lizard and they play with the animals and they blind that little frog and all that. All this torture that we do in this life are deeds that have been recorded by Chittar Gupad, and it is being recorded in our subconscious minds. We will have to repay for them. And that's why Guruji says, Kahu meh moti muktahal kahu bead lagai. Muktahal simply means motiyan diya mala. Bead mad sharab adik rog laan waliyan cheejan. There are people who are intoxicated and they are attached to all kinds of intoxications of the world. Guruji in this line in fact says it's the filth of the world. Into some he sets pearls, while to others he attaches them to filth. Of course, but actually what kind of filth are we talking about? Because if you look at the Gurbani Shabad, Bead means simply mad, Sharab adik rog laan waliyan cheejan. There are all these intoxicants like liquor, like wine, like alcoholic drinks, and other poisons of the dead bodies that we eat and we put in our mind, or we take drugs of different kinds, different types of drugs and all that. Innanu kendene kahu bead lagai. God has attached some people into such bad habits in their life that they not only drink a lot of alcohol, take drugs and eat a lot of dead animals. What is happening? Kise pande vich moti te motiyan diya mala manukh ne pa ditiyan te kise vich sharab adik rog laan waliyan cheejan pa ditiyan. These things basically what human beings choose to do. Some of them put pure moti. Moti is pearls that are very pure. They put only pure good food, good milk, good vegetables, good fruits, good nuts, and good healthy foods, nutritious foods into this body. But some people, what do? They put in all kinds of intoxicants into this body that will actually bring about ill health. They will damage our health. That's why Guruji kende ne kaya vich o moti ਤੇ ਮੋਤੀਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੜੀਆਂ ਜੜ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ. Those are the wise people who put in beautiful things into their body like pearls around themselves ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਗੰਧ ਬਲਾ ਲਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ. And other people, they choose to partake in all these intoxicants, and that's why one of the four kurrehats in when you take the amrit is that you shall not be taking any forms of intoxicants, even whether it's cigarette smoking, alcohol, or drugs, or any kinds of dead animals that you will put into your body. We refrain from doing that, क्योंकि किसी शरीर रूप बर्तन में बैरागाद मोती पाए दिए हैं और किसी में मुक्ताहल गाज मुक्ता मोक्ते मुख्य पद पाए दिया है. किसी में यारी चोरी मिथ्याद कर्मों की बेयाद लगाई गई है. All these thoughts that make you want to drink all that alcoholic intoxicating drinks and take drugs and smoke and put dead animals in your body. Guruji says, where did the thoughts come from? They also were put into that same pot, the body, because into some he set pearls while others he attaches filth. Ye mientras que a unos los adorna con colares de perlas, a otros les pone obstáculos crianando desventajas. Agli tuk de vich in the next line. Maybe Guruji is teaching us Samu Tan Rakhan ko diya Mugd kaha Tan mera Sum. Hanji Sume means Shum nu Tan jod ke rakhan lai जुड़िया है अते मूर्ख शूम आखदा है कि ए तन मेरा है. Guruji says this is a beautiful line. Maybe it's all about what he's talking about the rest of us human beings who don't attach ourselves to the name of the God 24 hours a day, because Guruji says कंजूस nu, those people who are कंजूस nu वाहिगुरु जी ने दौलत सांभण लई दित्ती है अते परंतु मूर्ख इस ਨੂੰ अपनी निज दी आखदा है. कंजूस are people who are miserly, who have a lot of great beautiful gifts from the giver, the good giver God, but they don't want to share these gifts that Waheguru Ji has given them. God has given a lot of wealth to the miserly fools, but to him, he just holds on to it. He preserves it and keeps it and calls himself that this wealth is mine, 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 and that's in the eyes of my Guruji a fool, because Guruji कहते ने al avaro le es dada riqueza para guardar pero ella usurpa como si fuera de él. What a beautiful sum मतलब miserly कंजूस लोग जो तन इस वास्ते दिया के संभाल के रखे. सो मूर्ख कहता है कि ये तन हमारा है. पाव एक जेकर तन अपना होता तो खर्च करता. So these beautiful messages to us says जम का दंड मूंड में लागे खिन्न में करे निबेरा. Moond means sir upon our heads. One day what's going to happen if we are these kind of fools, these miserly people? Then Guruji says पर जिस वेले जम दा डंडा सिर ते आ वजदा है तदों एक पलक विच फैसला कर दिंदा है कि असल विच ए तन किसे दा भी नहीं होंदा. जद मौत दा मुंगला उस दे सिर उत्ते पैंदा है एक मोहत विच हर शै दा फैसला हो जांदा है. You know, in an instant the man realizes, the misers of the world realize that in an instant everything was not mine. They settle and they realize, oops, nothing was mine. When do they realize this? When the messenger of death strikes him with his club, and in an instant everything is settled. He realizes, oh my God, I am not going to take anything with me. Jai maat pita sut meet na pai man uha naam tere sang sai. Other than the name of the Lord, nothing else goes with us in the world hereafter. जब सिर में जम का डंडा लगता है ना, तब सब कर्मों का निबेड़ा कर देता है. पाप रूप कर्मों का दुख फल पुगावता है. We will have to pay for all the misdeeds and the sins we did. Pero cuando el palo del mensajero de la muerte está en su cabeza, entonces sus cuentas son ajustadas. Guruji says that's why you should maybe just forget about everything else and chant. Shall we do that for a minute? If you can, please. Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru. Because the next line says, Harka Uttam Bhagat Sadave, Agya Man Sukha Pai. Man means in our mind, man mein jo manuk परमात्मा ਦਾ ਸੇਵਕ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨ ਕੇ ਸੁਖ ਮਾਣਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਜਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੇਕ ਭਗਤ ਸਦਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਭਾਵ ਸੋਭਾ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ. You know, those people on the other hand who become the humble slaves of the Lord Waheguru Ji, and 24 hours a day they learn to chant Satnam Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru. Japo Waheguru, Ves Waheguru. What happens? They become the true Bhagats, the holy people, the saintly people, the sadhus, the Bhagats, the devoted ones. And when they chant the name of the Lord, they connect themselves to the name of the Lord and they become one with the name of the Lord. That's called Jivan Mukti. Waheguru da Gola Shreshth Sant आख्या ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਆਰਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਨ. Beautiful, beautiful. They get peace of mind. They get all the stress, the painful sorrows, the difficulties, the tension, the anxieties, all disappear from their mind, body and soul, and they find lots of happiness, joy, pleasure, ecstasy, because all the time what are they doing? They are just singing Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru. Because Guruji says the humble servants of the Lord Waheguru Ji, they are called the most exalted saints because they obey the command of Waheguru Ji's order and they obtain peace in their life. जिन्होंने हर गुरु की आज्ञा मानकर सुख की निधि भाव मोक्ष पदवी पाई है सो हर जन उत्तम भगत कहाते हैं. Now this is called मोक्ष पदवी, to become what's called जीवन मुक्ति. You do not wait until you die to become one with God and achieve salvation, but you are already alive and you live a life where you are never affected by any pain or sorrow because you're all times art peher connected to that Lord Waheguru Ji, and you live in a town that's called Begumpura Shahar ko now. So the reason we understand Gurbani every day, the reason we sing the praises of God, and if you don't know the difficult words, it is okay, at least sing Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru. Very nice. Everybody, just a little bit louder. Beautiful. Nam Shri Waheguru, Satnam Shri Waheguru, Satnam. Because el sirviente del Señor es devoto del Signore. Obedeciendo su voluntad vie en paz. En paz means you shall obtain all kinds of peace, happiness, joy, prosperity. And as we come towards the end of the Shabbat, the last few lines, so let us understand. Because the initial few lines was all about telling us what happens and how God created this manifestation. But in the last few lines, he's going to tell us the most important message for today. That always obey the command of God, sing his praises, but jyotis pave sat karmane pana mane vasai. Those people who do this, sat means atal, the eternal truth. That's why we always say Satnam. That's why we say the japa aadh sach jugad, such habi, such Nanak hosi bhi sach. That's why ek onkar, the second word is Satnam, Satnam, eternal truth. That's Kartapur Kanirpo, and then you can go on with the rest of the Mool Mantar. But even again towards the end, Japad, such Jugad, such Hab hai, such Nanak hosi bhi such. Guruji says Hab he such. Even today it is Atal. Man means in our minds we decide from today onwards that we will listen to the message of God. Prabhu ji di raza man vasanda hai, jo Prabhu nu panda hai usnu hi theek samajhda hai. That's why Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji, remember we discussed this on the lecture 2 days ago, that he sat on the hot plate, the hot tawa, he had hot sand poured over his head, he was boiled in hot water, he was basically tortured in every way, but all he said was tera kiya meetha lage, that God, whatever happens in my life, theek samjhta haan, I regard as a sweet will of a Lord God. Waheguru ji kyunki ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੁਝ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਸੱਚ ਕਰਕੇ ਸ਼ਵੀਕਾਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਭ ਸਦਕਾ ਸੇਵਕ ਕੇ ਭਰਪੂਰ ਜੁਗ ਜੁਗ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਭ ਸਦਕਾ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਕਰਕੇ, because the more we say thank you ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, the more ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਾਂਗੇ ਨਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਰਾ ਸਭ ਸਦਕਾ, the more good blessings he will give us, all of us. So listen to these beautiful messages every day, share it with everybody, comment all your thoughts, and make sure you click on the like, subscribe, bell button, and make sure you share this with everybody, because the secret is aap japo, avare naam japabo, ਸਾਈਂ ਦੀ ਰਜ਼ਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਚਿੱਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਿਕਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੁੱਖ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹਰ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਅੱਛੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਹਨ, because Guru Ji says whatever is pleasing to my Lord Waheguru Ji, I today learn to accept it as true, and I shall enshrine the will of God within my mind. Maybe we should also do the same, isn't it? Lo que le place al Señor as so accepta como su bendición ya enal teque la voluntad del Señor en su mente. Because गुरुजी हिंदी में क्या कहते हैं कि ओ जो अकाल पुरख को अच्छा लगता है, तिसको सच करके जानते हैं, और तिसको हुक्म को मन के बसा रहते हैं. And in the last two lines, oh my God, this is the most beautiful message for today. And if you have been listening till the end, may God bless you, because those people who don't listen till the end, they sometimes miss out on the last few lines, which is usually the key message also after the Rahau Pankti. And also in those last few lines, Guruji says, now that we have understood today's message, Hukamnama, what should we all do? Normally in the last few lines, the last two lines, Guruji will tell us what to do. And those who do it, we achieve Jivan Mukti, we become one with God, we go to Sachkhand, we have big Pura शहर को now citizenship. So क्या है कबीर, सुनो रे संतो मेरी मेरी झूठी. Kabir ji in the last two lines says कि हे संत जनों, oh holy people, oh saintly people who are listening to my words, सुनो, ये तन पदार्थ आदक मेरा है, मेरा है, मेरा है. All our lives we keep saying these beautiful wealth, these possessions, these silk satin clothes, these homes, these beds, this comfortable life that I have is all मेरी. But Guruji says एक ख्याल कूड़ा है पाव, दुनिया दे पदार्थां वाली अपरंत सदा नहीं रह सकती. He's trying to tell us in the last line that this is a false, a fake, a very wrong thought and a wrong belief that we have, that this is all mine. Nothing is mine, because nothing is eternal except the name of the Lord Waheguru Ji, and those people who chant the name of the Lord Waheguru Ji. Naam reho, sadhu reho, reho gur gobind. Only God and all the holy people, my Guruji, and the Naam will be there eternally forever, not these worldly possessions. That's why Kabir Ji says it is false. Don't give me this fake news, don't give me this false proclamation that this is mine, mine, mine. Nothing is ours. Kabir Ji कहते हैं हन सर्वण करो हे साधुओं, कूड़ी है अपड़ंत धारणा करनी कि मेरी 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 सब कुछ मेरी है. This Bhagat Kabeer Ji assecution o santos falso SLSN nario de las posesiones. श्री कबीर जी कहते हैं कि हे संतो सुनो सुनो सुनो, ये जो मेरी मेरी करनी है ना, ये सब झूठी की रीति है. ते फिर ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ? ਭਗਤ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਤੇ ਭਗਤ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਝੂਠੀ ਹੈ? ਭਗਤ ਜੀ says why you still want to know why I call it false? Because ਭਗਤ ਜੀ says चिरगट फारे चटारा ले गयो तरी तागरी छूटी. Chirvat means pinjara, you know, like a cage. Sometimes you go to the zoo, there are big cages where they keep a lot of animals. Sometimes even in the homes people want to entrap birds and all the small pets, and then they keep it in a cage. Guruji says in the same way our body is like a cage. Chatara chara tari tagar tagri kunji te टुट्टी ते छुट्टी दा मतलब छुट जांदी, तरी ही रह जांदी है। भगत जी से समथिंग सो ब्यूटिफुल इन द लास्ट लाइन, जिवें जे पिंजर नूं पाड़ के कोई बिल्ला चिड़े नूं फड़ के लै जाए तां उस पिंजर ने पिंजरे पई पंछी दी कुज्जी ते टुट्टी धरी है रह जाती है। तिवें मौत आया बंदे दे खाण पीण वाले पदार्थ इत्थे ही धरे रह जाते हैं। What a beautiful example. Imagine a big strong animal comes and tears away the cage of that beautiful parrot that you had entrapped in the cage. And Bhagat Ji says, now what will happen? That billa means that big billy, like a tigress or a big cat, will snatch that parrot away, will tear the cage away, and when it tears through the cage, what is left? Nothing is left. That bird will be taken away and only torn threads remain, a little small feathers remain, because breaking the cage in the same way, this body that we are so proud of and we make up all the time, and we do so many things to take care of the body but never of the soul. Guruji says, when the last moment comes, and if we have not chanted the name of the Lord, if we have not remembered God, if we have spent all our life doing meree, meree, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, then Guruji says, when death comes, the devils of death will take you away to Taramraj, and then nothing will be left. Nothing will be left. Your soul will be gone. Porque cuando la holo del cuerpo se abre la golondrina del alba vuela ve se va, ye solo permanence la jaula vasya. That's why Guruji says something so beautiful, and maybe this is something for us to remember. Pran apan ki गांठ को चिरगट पिंजरे समान थी, तिसको फार करके चटारा जीव का लिंग शरीर रूप जड़े चिड़े व तोते को जम रूप बिल्ला जब ले गया, तब तरी तागरी कुंजी टुट्टी रूप ठुठी रूप ठूठी रूप खान पान के पदार्थ छूट जाते हैं। वातनी हुई नाड़ियाँ और इंद्रियों की गोलकां रूप जाली जो थी सो छूट गई. You know, when we die, nothing will remain, only this body, these bones and these nerves and these cells. पंछी के दे पिंजरे ਨੂੰ ਤੋੜ ਕੇ ਮੌਤ ਪੰਛੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਅਤੇ ਧਾਗੇ ਧੂਗੇ ਟੁੱਟ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਨ. All this pride that we have, it is all broken. So what did we learn from today's Shabad? Maybe the last line says it all. Keh Kabeer, suno re santo, meree meree jhoottee. Maybe this is something we should take home today, that whenever we keep saying this is mine, that is mine, everything is mine, maybe that's a false belief system, and maybe we should repent. Maybe we should wake up to this beautiful message that nothing is mine. That's why you must have heard of that Shabad, Kabeer mera mujh mein kich nahi, jo kich hai so tera, tera tujhko saumpte kya lage mera. Oh God, nothing is mine. And when you come for our 3-hour programs, these are all short recordings that we share with you to tell you what universityofsikhism.com does for all of us. But when you come for the 3-hour programs or the 2-day weekend programs or the 1-week sammelans and the boot camps, then we get a lot of chance not only to sing these shabads but sing many other related shabads to go deeper into the messages, the hukamnama of today. So today's hukamnama is very beautiful. If we can just learn meree meree jhoottee, and that will be a beautiful message, because I remember just the shabad before this when we studied, it is also by Bhagat Kabeer Ji. I'll just take 1 minute to just tell you. Maybe we'll discuss it in detail on another day, because that Shabad also says Asa ba reh bars balpan bite 20 bars kach tap na kiyo, which simply means 12 years pass in childhood. And then after that, another 20 years pass, but we do not practice self-discipline and austerity. This means 12 plus 20, 32 years have passed. Then 30 bars kach dev na puja, fir pachtauna bird peo. And then 32 plus another 30 years, we do not worship God in any way. And then when we grow old, we regret and we repent. Which means in the first 2 lines already, Guruji says 12 plus 20 plus 30 makes it a total of 62 years. years, and now when you become 62 years old, then you realize meree meree karte janam gayo. Same message. These two shabads, they actually appear next to each other in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. So this was the shabad before today's Hukamnama. I just thought I'll share with you, because even in that shabad, mamta vich jwani vich umar beet gayi. Guru Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ 62 60 62 ਸਾਲ ਤੇਰੇ ਬੀਤ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਤੂੰ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ? ਮੇਰੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਕਰਤੇ ਜਨਮ ਗਿਓ. ਤੇ ਅਗਲੀ ਤੁਕ ਵਿੱਚ Guru Ji says, you waste your life away crying meri meri, and sire sog bhujang valeo rahao. The pool of your power has dried up, because once you're 62, chances are now you try and chant the name of the Lord, it ain't going to happen. That's why you make a dam around the dried up pool, and with your hands you make a fence around the harvested field. But Bhagat Ji says, when the thief of death comes, he will quickly carry you away. What a fool has tried to preserve as his own meree meree karte janam gayo. You try to put protection around it, and you try to see that, make sure nobody takes sick. But when death comes, everything goes away from you. Your feet, your head, your hands begin to tremble. Your tears flow copiously from your eyes, and you can't even control it, because after the age of 62, your tongue cannot even speak the correct words, and now you hope to practice religion. Jado bird fe ho na, oh my God, Guruji kehndे ne jehva bachan shuddh nahi nikse tab re dharam ki aas kare. No, there is no point at that old age to say, now I'll try to remember religion, because ab na bhajas bhajas kab bhai ave ant na bhajya jai. That's why Guruji says in the next line of this other shabad, we will discuss it in detail, I promise you, when the dear Lord Waheguru Ji shows his mercy and enshrines love for himself, then we obtain the profit of the name of the Lord Waheguru Ji. But it is only through the grace of my Guru Ji that we will receive the wealth of the name of the Lord, because this is alone that will go with us when we depart and die. Gur prasadi har tan payo ante chaldiya naal chalyo. Nothing else is going to go with us. That's why meree meree karte janam gayo. Let us forget about thinking everything we have is mine, because Gur prasadi har tan payo ante chaldiya naal chalyo. The last line says, Kahat Kabeer suno re santo an tan kachue le na gayo. Bhagat Kabeer Ji says, listen, O holy people, you shall not take any other wealth with you. Ai talab gopal rai ki maya mandar chhod chalyo. When the summons come from the King God Waheguru Ji of the universe, the mortal, you and I shall depart, and we will have to leave behind our wealth, our mentions. Maybe that's why Kahe Kabeer suno re santo meree meree jhoottee. Did you enjoy today's Hukamnama? I loved it. I think it was a very different Hukamnama. In our Gurdwara Sahibs, normally they don't share these messages, because these messages are a little bit, negative in their perception. They wake us up to say, oh my God, what have I been doing with the rest of my life? Oh my God, I've been wasting it away. But then if they started, having ardas and then Hukamnama and all these kind of messages, then the family that sponsors the program will say, what? I don't want to sponsor. God gave us a very negative message. He didn't give you a negative message. Ye gud chadke ta meetha lage je bakshe ta tud vadhyai. I mean, if Guruji even tells us these kind of, I hope I said the correct sentence. Je main shabad de vich kitne galti kar ja, mainu maaf kar dena. Te meri Spanish bhi inni changi nahi. Je main Hindi, Spanish, Angrezi baki bol diya, ji koi galti ho jaye, please forgive me for the errors. But I want to tell you, the important thing is Kahe Kabeer suno re santo meree meree jhoottee. Because when the day comes and we have to go, only the name of the Lord will go with us. Kyunki naal ne shabad jo is to pehle shabad aanda hai, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹੁਣੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ. When Guru Ji gives us the grace, then what will happen? har tan payo ante chaldiya naal chaleo. So come, let us just for the last few seconds sing Waheguru Waheguru, Simran Satnam Sri Waheguru, because if you don't know the difficult shabads, it's okay. Just chanting the name of Waheguru Ji will be the har tan payo and ante chaldiya naal chaleo. This is the name that's going to help us on that journey back to God, and maybe we'll be forgiven for all the sins we have done, not only in this lifetime, for many lifetimes. So listen to this every day. today. Share it with everybody, because maybe Guru Prasadi, this is the true Guru Prasad, the grace of my Guruji. And let us say thank you, Waheguru. This is once again your Palji, and thanks a lot to the University of Sikhism.com, plus ardashukamnama.com, miracleprayerrequest.com, sikhvillage.com, the sikhchannel.tv.com, and many other good sponsors, kirtanshop.com for the matter, who actually distributes a lot of these things. Yeah, thank you to all of you wonderful people who also sponsor these satsangs, so that we can carry on these satsang and share Gurbani, because आज दा हुक्मनामा ही कह रहे हैं ना, नाल कुछ जड़ा ਤਾਂ है नहीं. सो जे यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ सिखिज्म ਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਅਗਲੇ 15-16 ਸਾਲ ਹਰ ਰੋਜ਼ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾਈ ਜਾਓ. 5888 ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਗਲੇ 15-16 ਸਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਸਿਰਫ ਇੱਕੋ ਵਾਰੀ ਸਮਝ ਆਏਗਾ. There are more than 5,888 shabads in the Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and the University of Sikhism.com said it will take us 15-16 years if we discuss only one shabad a day. So if those of you who have today realized all your wealth is not going to go anywhere with you, maybe you want to sponsor all these programs so that we can spend it on a lot of good promotions, advertising, marketing, and share these messages. Because today on the other side, a lot of people are spending a lot of money in converting our young people away from Sikhism into other religions. I don't need to mention. I think yesterday in the group already, so many forwarded messages came from other religions which are spreading their wings, not only in other parts of the world but also in Punjab. You know what I'm talking about. And it is a shame on us if we see people with long daniyan, big turbans, dastara pagga de naal, te matawa jo ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਨੀ ਜੀ ਦਾਦੀ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਉਮਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਚੇਲੇ ਬਣੇ ਆ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਕਿਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬਾਕੀ ਧਰਮਾਂ ਦੇ ਚੇਲੇ ਬਣੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਦੂਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਬੜੀ ਦੁਖੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਸੀ. ਅੱਛਾ, ਬਚਪਨ ਤੋਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਨਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਬੁੱਢੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦੂਜੀ ਕੌਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਮਿਲ ਗਈ, ਥੋੜ੍ਹੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਮਿਲ ਗਏ, ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਏ ਹੋ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦੇ ਵਿਰੁੱਧ. ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ, ਆਓ ਗੁਰਪ੍ਰਸਾਦੀ ਹਰ ਧਨ ਪਾਇਓ, ਅੰਤੇ ਚਲਦਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਚਲਿਓ, ਸਿਰਫ ਨਾਮ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਏਗਾ. once again thank you ਜੀ. ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ. chant please. ਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ, ਸਤਨਾਮ